Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner, and today I have Aaron Keith Hawkins with us. He is an author, podcast host, and coach. So welcome to the show, Aaron.
It's great to be here, Tyler. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for joining us, and we'll dive in. The first question I have for you, Aaron, is what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Yeah, the nutshell version of that has to be in 2009. Woke up one morning and had chest pain, tremendous chest pain, about a 12 on a 1 to 10 scale. Long story short, I wound up waking up and ultimately collapsing in front of my wife, thinking I was having a heart attack. Spent a few days in the hospital, made it. It turned out not to be a heart attack. They think I had a mini stroke, but the lesson in that was when I thought I was checking out, I felt, instead of feeling fear like I would have expected in a situation like that, felt a ton of regret seeing the missed opportunities I had. Because up until that point, I'd kind of just been being a normal guy, fitting in, had a good career, and was just kind of coasting. But that woke me up to the fact that our time here is precious. And that was a big transformational moment in my life and very much led me into what I do today.
Thanks for sharing the story with us, man.
Sure.
And the next one I have for you is what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Sure. Yeah. I'll have to go with the book I just released is about influence. And really one of the most valuable pieces of information I think that I find in the experiences I've had is that most people are overlooking the fact that they are always influencing. And what I mean by that is a lot of people think of influence as this thing that you can turn on when you need it and turn off when you don't. But that's very much a myth because everything we do is influence in business, in our personal lives, every conversation, body language, what we wear, how we dress our websites. Everything we do is sending a message to the people around us. And if we're not paying attention to that, that's when life can start handing us things that we think are random, but they're actually products of our own creation. So awareness to the fact that influence is always happening is probably the one best piece of information I can give people on that topic.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific. Give first and always without expecting the return. Give because it's at the core of your business is to give to people who are your customers and people who aren't. Giving, and it always pays off. And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I would tell my younger self that there's really no benefit. There's no reward for fitting in and getting people to agree with you. It never works. So that's one of those things we can I would tell myself to stop worrying about trying to please anyone and making them accept you. It's just not worth the effort.
And in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
The key to happiness is definitely growing, progress. If we're not progressing, we'll ultimately be dying inside. And as a coach, that's something I see all the time when people aren't sure can't figure out why they're unhappy. Most of the time, it turns out there's a lack of progress somewhere where they actually are craving progress. And it's kind of cool because a lot of times it's a pretty easy fix.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
I got to go with one of my favorite people, Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule. And the premise of it is when each of us get that feeling in our gut that there's something we want to do, something that feels right for us, something that we're drawn to do, instead of hesitating and thinking about it and doing all those things that most people do, just count down in 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and physically move in the direction of doing that thing, whether it's sending an email, calling somebody, reaching out to somebody, complimenting somebody, offering the sale, whatever it is. at the core, it's do not hesitate. Just do what your gut is telling you to do when you know it's something when it feels like it's something that's going to lead to a positive result, or at least lead to you being authentic. No hesitations.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
I gotta go with my golden nugget that I keep reminding myself of, from Tony Robbins, when he said, people's biggest problem isn't that they have problems, it's that they think they're not supposed to have any. And that is a reminder to me, when I'm, if I find myself getting upset because of some challenge I'm facing or something that isn't I thought it was supposed to. It's just a big reminder for me that, the goal is not to get rid of your problems. It's to prepare yourself to better learn how to handle them. And secondly, to have better quality problems. Problems are always going to be there. So if we think we're going to get rid of them, we're setting ourselves up for a long life of frustration. But if we accept the fact that problems are inevitable and we can learn the skills to better handle them in pretty much any context, that's when things get fun and life gets more like a game than a challenging train wreck that some people try to claim it is. So yeah, expect the problems. They're going to be there. Just learn how to deal with them better.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on, man. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Sure. Very easy. AaronKeithHawkins.com. You can find me there 24/7. There's a link to download my book for free, even if you have some slight interest in influence. Just go to AaronKeithHawkins.com. I'm giving a book away for free. No problem at all.
Perfect. Thanks again, man. We really appreciate you coming on.
Anytime, Tyler. Appreciate you.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.